Un Copter Coverups for October 20th. At 8:54 a.m., the blue small flimsy helicopter that they use for the UN Copter Coverups, the one that they used for the 6% battery incident that flew over my house when my phone went to 5%, and the one that they used when they took the engine compartment off and had it rattle really loudly and then descend incredibly low over 24191, flew down my street in the line that I call the 11 o'clock line, which was when the police helicopter mobbed over my roof at 11 at night and led me out down to Caladad, where they tried to spotlight me, and then I ran home. So that line now has become some sort of regularity, because anytime there's an event that they do something incredibly screwed up, they just make it a regularity. And this can go on forever, because they can always just say it's a new line. So they have freedom of making lines anywhere they want. And a huge point in all of this, and I should say this on the police copter video as well, is that everything, if they just cross over it once, they say that's part of the routine, and then that the line is there, and then that any time that any point on the line, they can decide to do power circles for an hour or any kind of event, and it's covered up and it's permissible because it's on the line, and they can say that they dropped their sandwich or that he was taking a call or anything else. So they're always just going to make a new line. It's a very important line. So these things should be able to be audited too, instead of just the personal interaction stuff. The whole thing is a personal interaction. But anyways, this helicopter flew in that line, and that line also crosses over conveniently. It crosses over 24092, the transformer fire spot down the street. So it came up from the DeSeo end of the street, and it was on the opposite side, so from 24091, and then it crossed up over my house and then went out into the park. And then at 9:18, the same helicopter, the small blue one, came from the park, and he crossed out over Oliveira Castilla and went left to right in the copter pocket, and he was at a higher altitude. So there've been the UN Copter Coverups. They also sell the hill in El Dorado Park, so they ascend and then descend out there too, and then they do the ascend and descend behind 24191 to cover up for the military helicopter turn. And so that's what he did when he came in at a higher altitude this time, going left to right. He tried to sell the hill and kind of ride down the hill, but it shouldn't even be allowed to be called a hill. The grade is probably like 5%, and it's ridiculous. And then at 5:54 p.m., probably the blue one, but a small flimsy helicopter with a conical top part that connects to the rotor blades flew right to left in the fake copter pocket across the street, so that it would have a silhouette, because they fly them by at dusk now, so that it's a silhouette. And that's because some of the original UN copter videos were taken in that area, but they weren't all behind that house. And so they use that as an excuse to fly it at dusk, and those videos weren't taken at dusk. And then at 6:08 at sunset, one of the small conical top flimsy helicopters flew by in the copter pocket, left to right, looking across the street with a flashing red bulb. And then so I started counting the flash as he was coming in from the end of the street at Solero Oliveira intersection, because he had just cleared the hill at the park and was doing the ascension descension selling. And he changed the cadence of the flash on the bulb, shut it down almost, so that I couldn't record it, because they're all sitting here looking at my phone and telling him what's coming out of it. So there's so many examples of this, like that the fact that they're parading Cessnas around right now for police helicopter cover-ups are because of their starting point is that my phone, whatever my piece of crap phone can record. And that's difficult to do because my phone is broken and it's tapped. So they go around and they tell the pilots that supposedly have nothing to do with me where to move and how to change their lights and what to do to avoid. And then they're just looking at my screen the whole time. And they're like, okay, here's the starting point. They did that with the jumbo jets. They set the fires, then they flew the jets down on my head. My phone was broken and tapped. And then they're telling these pilots and jumbo jets where to turn and also to turn their lights off. So by the time we're done, you can't even tell what happened. And they're like, oh yeah, well, that's not what happened. So our starting point is here. And it's so far from reality, it's just stupid. And so that was another instance of personal interaction where he was changing the cadence of the bulb so that it flashed barely at all, so that I couldn't record it.